welcome back to my channel. Welcome if this is your first time stopping by. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button so that way you can be a part of the beauty club. But y'all already know what this video is about. So this is my first time doing the watercolor method for dyeing hair. I've always done it the very long way, doing it by hand, and this trend has been out for a while, but this is my first time doing it. So this is how it turned out. Like, it's really, really pretty. So I will link everything below what I used that's necessary, and y'all will see why in a second. But yeah, let's just get into this. Let's just get into it. Let's get started. So you guys, the only thing you would need is some type of container or bucket, anything that is able to hold enough water to fully submerge your wig, especially if it's a longer one. So this is what I use. It's more than enough. And then I also use Got2b spray, and of course you need gloves and your hair color. And when I say that's it, that is literally it. The hair company I'm using for this video is called Doris, and it is on Aliexpress. That's where I got the wig from. This was my first time ever using this company, so I wasn't too sure, but I could tell that the quality was, you know, pretty decent just by, you know, how it felt. It wasn't shedding a lot. So it is a middle part, and again, it is a bob, and it already came cut, which was great. And it wasn't much hair in the front. Like, you can literally only put the part in the middle, which was fine. That's what I wanted. So I'm just right here showing you exactly like how it's made on the inside and things like that with the combs. As you can see, I used 3 bottles of Adore semi-permanent color, and it is in the color Rich Amber. And right here, I was looking at videos, and they said that it's best to spray the inside of the lace with Got2b glue or Got2b spray, or some people use like Gorilla Glue, but I decided to just use this. And they said it's to protect the lace so that way it doesn't stain as much. So again, this was my first time doing it, so I just wanted to give this a try. I didn't want to not do it and regret it, so I just went ahead and did this. And then after I got done with the spraying, I did go ahead and blow dry it. Now, this is where all of the fun really begins. Like, this is so much fun to me. I love coloring hair. So I was watching videos again, and I saw one girl, she put 2 bottles in at first and then dipped the hair in, and then she put in the 3rd bottle afterwards. So you will see me doing that. I just wanted to get this part out the way so that way you can just watch and see me doing it. Another thing you will see is me letting the hair sit in the water. I didn't record it just for time purposes. I didn't record all of it, but just know that I did let it sit. So overall, I would say this whole process within starting the color would take about, it could take about 10 minutes or so, which isn't bad at all considering the fact that you are coloring hair. So I did want to just mention that. So though I did cut these clips short, just please know that I did still leave it in the water for a bit. And after I poured the hair color in the water, I did swirl it around with my hands. You can use a whisk. I did use a whisk at some point, but I did do it with my hands, which was a little easier because I was able to kind of see if it was any clumps in it. You know, I was kind of like lifting my hands up to see if it was mixed well or not, but it's really up to you. Just make sure there are no clumps because you do not want that to like get stuck in the hair and have an issue. So just make sure that you are checking to make sure that it is completely dissolved inside of the water. Don't be like me, y'all. Just go ahead and dip the whole thing in the water. just dip it in the water. But I was just kind of curious to see like how it would look, but that is nowhere near enough time in the water for you to really see the color. So just dip it the whole thing in the water. Do not be like me and be extra and just keep doing it inch by inch. You don't have to do that. Now, if you're doing like half and half, or if you're trying to do an ombre, okay, it's a different technique. But if you are doing one solid color, just dip the whole thing in right away. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. Right here, I was low-key like, oh my God, this is purple. I was like, oh my goodness, this is not red. Oh my goodness. So the thing is, the hair store that I went to, because I was not about to go to a second hair store, the one hair store I went to did not have a lighter red, and I didn't want it to be bright red. And so I just picked up this rich amber. They had, you know, 3 bottles of it, so I just picked that up. But right here, I was like, this is nowhere near red. And I know that colors is, you know, it's darker when it's wet. I get that. I know that very well. But because I've never used this rich amber, I was like, this is not what I want. I am not gonna like this. This is not red. I hate it. But when I say this was, if trusting the process was a person, you have to trust the process. So this was me dipping it again with the 3rd bottle of the hair color, like I said before. So I don't really know if this really makes a big difference. I'm not even gonna lie, but if it did, great. If not, I probably could have just put, you know, all 3 inside the first time, but I did it because I saw someone else do it and hers turned out great. So I just went ahead and did it, and again, I don't know if it really made a difference, but hey. I just want to mention it again right here that I did let the wig sit inside of the color. So I don't want to say I did that really on purpose, but because I was not fully prepared, so I forgot like my towel, and then I was wiping my counters. Also, if you have white counters, put something down. Don't be like me and make a little mess. But so it was sitting in the water while I went to, you know, get the towel, or, you know, I went and got different hair color, and, you know, while I wiped the counter. So it was sitting in that time. So again, not really done on purpose, but I just left it in there. This part right here was completely unnecessary. Do not do this. I should not have done this because it made no difference. Because that color was so dark and looked more purple, I went and found some other hair color that I had. So I went in with Kiss Crimson color. Then I went with Adore French Cognac, and y'all, it made no freaking difference. Do not do that. I was gonna cut this part out, but I was like, no, I still want to show exactly what I did. But y'all can see it didn't do anything. So and it could be just because it was still in the same like tone almost as the first color that I used, the rich amber. So don't do that. But when it was time to wash it out, I used Paul Mitchell Forever Blonde shampoo and the Forever Blonde conditioner. And yeah, let's get to rinsing this out. So this part is really, really simple. But if you have never, you know, rinsed hair color out before, I still want to go over it. So when it comes to rinsing out like semi-permanent hair color, you will always see it when you rinse it. You will always see it. It's almost impossible to like rinse it all out unless you're just sitting there for 20 minutes. You can do that if you want to, but I wasn't about to do that. So just make sure after you shampoo it, I shampooed it twice and then conditioned it once. After you really like, you know, get in there, just make sure you don't see as much red as you do when you first started. You are going to still see some red. Again, if you want to sit there, that is totally up to you, but I didn't do that. So I just made sure I saw as less as possible, as making sure that the water was as clear as possible, and then that's when I stopped. Once I started blow drying it, I realized I did not like how the knots looked. They were just too out there for me, and I wasn't about to put that on my head like that. So I did bleach the knots, and then you will see the mistake that I got from that. The knots turned pink, but we will fix that because we're not going out with pink knots. Before blow drying, I did use the Paul Mitchell Forever Blonde Dramatic Repair, the Awapui line of the Hydro Mist blowout spray, and then also the Paul Mitchell Super Skinny Serum. Can y'all guess what school I went to? So for this video, I actually started this part first. I, put all the sprays and the oil and the serum, and then I blow dried it. That's when I realized I did not like how the knots looked, so I actually bleached the knots off camera because I do have a video on that. And so I did this part and then I filmed the knots, but for the sake of this video I just put that part first so I don't want to confuse anybody. And that part was so quick. As y'all can see, it really wasn't that much lace to even bleach. It was just that middle part and then the little parts on the sides and the front, so it really wasn't much to it. But once I, rinsed the bleach out, then I went ahead and blow dried it again. And so right here you can just, I wanted to show y'all so you can see like how it looks once you are, really blow drying it, because that's when the real color is coming out. So I did go ahead and start styling off camera, but I still wanted to show you guys how it was turning out, which I was in love with. It was so pretty. It was still a little darker than I wanted, but it was still pretty. And y'all, look at those pink knots. Like, look at those things. Like, we are not about to go out here like that. So just know that we are going to be fixing them, but just look at this color. Like, it's so pretty. It was so pretty. I'm actually glad that it turned out this way. I kind of like this better than the color I was, trying to go for, but I just love it. Now, I have to say, they did do a very good job with this cut. Like, I really didn't have any complaints about it at all, but there were just like a few little pieces that, could have been, clipped or whatever, but that's nothing to complain about. So I just went ahead and, trim that up, put a little, Rana dazzle on it. I had to do that. So that's just me doing this part. And again, it really wasn't much to it, but I just had a few little things to fix. let's get into these pink knots that we are not about to be doing right now. So I went in with my James Charles palette from Morphe, and I used the color Boutique because that was like basically really close to that color. So I used Boutique, and that pretty much did the job. And then afterwards I just went in with one of the lighter colors. I forgot the color, but it was just basically like a tan color, just to kind of like get that part back in place, you know, just to kind of bring that back out. So I didn't want to have like, you know, a red part, you know, so I just kind of did that. But this part was really simple. Like, I literally cannot keep my hands out of it. Like, it's so soft. This hair did so well. This hair did so good. So I hope y'all really enjoyed this video, and with me doing it for the first time. And yeah, I love coloring hair. It's like my thing. On top of like sew-ins and faux locks, coloring is the next thing that I am like in love with. But this turned out really cute. Again, I hope y'all enjoyed this. I hope y'all took and got something out of it. So yeah, so let me know what color I should do next. Let me know what color I should do next, because y'all saw this one was kind of like I wanted this, but it was kind of like didn't quite turn out how I thought it would, but I'm glad it still turned out this way. So just let me know what color I should do next with Adore. I'm only gonna stick with Adore. And yeah, you guys, so we're gonna wrap this up. Oh, I hate when it gets stuck on my lip gloss, but we're gonna wrap this on up, and y'all already know the drill. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe to your girl's channel. I love y'all. As always, y'all already know this. This is nothing new. And as my mother used to always say, it does not matter what you do. I'm pointing at you. It does not matter what you do. Always be the best at it. So I will catch y'all on Monday.